My name's Chris.
And I'm Kristie.
This is the Washing Up Podcast, and it's top 12 week, which I'm...
Sweet week.
No, it's top 12 week. I'm not going to call it Sweet Week because there was a lot of abominations going on. What I am going to call it is top 12 week. I'm going to call it top 12 week because this is the week where we lose everybody in the credits.
Yep.
And we get it cut down to a slim 12.
Oh, that's true, yes.
It's always sad. It's a sad moment. It's a depressing moment.
How will we ever remember Blake?
We won't. To be honest with you, even with the credits, kind of a stretch. Yeah. I still maintain he was the boom operator and just, hey, Blake went a body.
Took one for the team.
Went a bit too far too soon. It happens. It's Sweet Week. And, we first of all, apologies for the drinking game.
No.
Last night.
No apologies.
Last night might have been one of the more toxic nights we've ever put the Australian public through.
If they weren't making a Panna Cotta, they were making an ice cream, and guess what? 2 featured on the fucking...
And guess what? At one point, they made a Panna Cotta with an ice cream. and then we had 2 ice cream scoops, one of each different flavour. It just got bad fast.
Does that mean is there's 2? It's like 2 in a row.
Double fisting.
You got to just down it at the same time.
Yeah, double fisting drinks, clarifying we are a PG
Either
podcast.
or, if you're making it into a kiddie game, go for it.
We are a fucking PG podcast, and I'd like to keep it that fucking way, please.
Indeed.
Anyway.
I mean, maybe you'll throw in felching.
I was going to say felching, but I can't say that. That's your trademark.
It is.
So we had the opening of the week was Larissa saying to the camera, "Oh my God, it's Sweet Week. This is going to be my week."
Oh.
And everyone cringed.
Oh, Larissa, no.
But
it was. She owned it.
Give her a due.
Yeah.
She kind of did it. But we'll come to how she did that in a minute.
Still a bit of a Bake-Off curse going on there. You just make us all cringe. Go, no, don't say that,
everybody who watches Bake-Off.
Like, need someone good to stay.
No, do that, Larissa.
Yeah.
So we got... Obviously, they got everyone in there and they're announcing, they're listing all these achievements off, and people were looking a little bit confused. And I'm like, well, it's quite obviously Heston Blumenthal. Not just because we've all seen the promos, but everything they were listing until they got to, from Fata. Yeah. And I was like, okay, we all know.
And look, that was about as exciting as it got for Heston.
He comes in.
The build-up.
He comes in.
It was like when you're masturbating and it's like, oh, this is going to be so good. This is going to be so good. And then it just disappears. And you're like, oh, what was that all about?
Well, there was something there, but it's gone now.
It's gone now.
What was disappointing was they built him up and they obviously they got someone in post. They went, get one of them to say he's a rock star. And so one of them, I can't remember who it was, went, he's a rock star. At which point they had Heston come in and he's got fists in the air and they played like a rock guitar intro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
It was strutting music.
In post.
Strutting in the big bad... What's a gander? Because he's from the fat duck.
Let's go with a gander, shall we?
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I don't fucking know.
No, he's a gander. Duck. No, we'll call him a gander.
He's got a spiral penis and everything like a real duck.
He's got a corkscrew.
Corkscrew.
Good news. If you're really struggling to open that bottle of Pinot, get Heston to just whip it out. Hey, Heston, can you just whip it out? I hear it's his party trick. Forget the idea of the giant curry that he made and all those sorts of things. Just Heston, can you whip it out for a minute? There we go. So that's a moment in podcast history. So Heston opening wine bottles with his cock. Anyway,
and you know what? Still would have been far more interesting than what
would have been far more entertaining than what Heston did. This is the most boring Heston night I think we've ever seen. I am assuming they're going to do what they did the other year where they had Heston turn up and then leave and then brought him back for the grand final. It's the only thing I can think of that makes this worthwhile.
Otherwise, it's a Heston Blumenthal impersonator and they didn't actually get him to do anything of worth. Otherwise, he might have picked it up.
Yeah, so they were just walk around, pump your fists a little bit, talk about flavours and talk about crazy flavours and say the word cola a lot because Heston Blumenthal talks about cola a lot and fizz. Use the word fizz a fair bit. And
the chemistry and
the chemistry of cooking and
the reactions and
memories. Use the word memory a lot.
Yep.
Because Heston loves the word memory.
And I presume they paired him up with George so that the collective reflection of both their heads distracted from the fact it actually wasn't Heston.
No, what did all that? No. They put them both together because, like, with one of them, like, the shine off the head is too great for the camera. But with both of them, there's a double refraction going on. And, like, the lighting angles are all put back into kilter. It's like Mr. Burns when he's sick and he's got every disease known to man and therefore is perfectly healthy because they can't all fit through the door at once. It's Three Stooges syndrome. Yeah. So it's the same with the lighting and those two with their heads. So Heston comes in and they're talking about, you know, the mystery boxes and, you know, we need to remember things when we were younger. I like things. And it's Heston bullshit. You've all heard this. And he goes, 3, 2, 1, and they lift up the boxes and lollies spill out everywhere. And my first thought is, you poor bastards who have to clean up this kitchen.
I know. And what a waste of good lollies.
Exactly.
At least with a piñata, you got something underneath it to catch them all.
Imagine the effort to put that box together.
But also, when they're going to start cooking, they've obviously had to scoop up a whole lot to put in a bowl next to them. But it's not being big enough to contain them all. So, and I presume for the camera shot, you still needed to look like it was just spread around.
Now, I'm going, this could be an interesting challenge. What are they going to make them do with the lollies? Are they going to make them recreate the flavour of a particular lolly? Are they going to do that?
Lolly.
A giant lolly. It's Heston Blumenthal. Anything could happen. And the anything that could happen was, we've got the things these are based off in the box, like a pineapple and some spearmint and strawberries, and make a dish with one of those.
But you couldn't use the lollies.
Yeah, don't use the lollies and don't recreate the flavour of the lollies because, as we all know, the lollies don't actually taste the way that the thing they're based off do.
And that's the whole point of a fucking lolly. You know, like, imagine getting teeth lollies and they taste like teeth. Like, that's just bullshit.
How would you know?
Or a red frog actually tasting like a fucking frog.
Hey, say what you want, but as Monty Python proved, right, remember, their box of chocolates, including Spring Surprise, Lark's Vomit, and, of course, Crunchy Frog. What a delicacy. You know, a whole frog, baby frog, washed in spring water, lightly killed, and lovingly frosted with chocolate. Don't they even take the bones out? Well, if they took the bones out, wouldn't be crunchy. So, see, again, I think that's an important point. But I think, look, in all honesty, I wanted to see them actually make something based off the flavours of the lollies or using the lollies.
Yeah.
Not, and here's a pineapple. Like, again, you didn't need Heston for this challenge.
Like, all I can say is that box is missing some glacé cherries, and my mum's, like, fucking signature dish would have been whipped out, which is a pineapple boat, where you quarter the pineapple and you, like, somehow keep it in the skin and slice it into little bits, and then on individual toothpicks you put a glacé cherry and half a mint leaf lolly and then poke it into the top, and then at, you know, fancy do's.
Yes, at all of the fancy do's where you eat a pineapple with toothpicks.
The fancy do's at the Stanford household are really, really fancy,
Quite classy.
Quite classy. Pineapple boats for all.
And a cheeky shardy.
Oh, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
You got to beat my sisters to it.
Anyway, so as a result, everyone decided to be remarkably inventive and everyone decided to make the most dramatic and wonderful and amazing and unusual dishes that, oh, who am I kidding? We got fucking Panna Cotta city limits.
It was. What are you making? I'm making a cornflake panna cotta. Oh, no, that's the next one. Sorry. I'm making a panna cotta with this and a panna cotta with that and a panna cotta with spears.
Look, I was happy with Christina.
Pineapple panna cotta. Yeah.
Christina made wagon wheels.
Which
we didn't get to see.
We didn't get to see, and quite fucking frankly, like, how does 2 scoops of ice cream, not even a fucking cone, make it? Like, I could have served up 2 scoops of fucking ice cream out of Napolitana. And Napolitana even has 3 fucking flavours. Like, come on.
So
bullshit.
So let's quickly run through.
Christina with the fucking wagon wheels. That's where it's at. Christina, you're a fucking legend.
You are. So let's quickly run through just to give you an idea of how this was going. My tweets in a row last night were Panna Cotta. Ben starts us with the drinking, and Ben, don't think we're going to miss you, young man.
No.
Panna Cotta and ice cream. Double shot. Tati made an ice cream. Drink. Double ice cream from Tessa. This is going downhill fast. Drink, people. It kept going. Like the other night, I got a message from Twitter saying, can't post this message it's a repeat tweet. You know the drinking game is going badly when you are getting repeat tweets that early in the night and that fast the Twitter goes, whoa there, buddy. Can't post that at the moment.
Now, this was supposed to be an invention test. This is what the mystery box.
Yeah.
But there's no stakes, there's no high stakes here. Like, you might miss out going into round 2, but you're pretty safe and giving an experiment. So kudos to Ben for giving it a bit of an experiment.
Now, here's a question regarding...
At this point.
Here's a question regarding Ben's.
Yeah.
So, Ben was going with the strawberries with the black pepper idea.
Yeah.
Except... there was no black pepper in the kitchen. What sort of professional kitchen
Doesn't have black pepper?
has white pepper,
Oh my fucking
not
God.
black pepper?
We live in a suburban household.
We've got
we have
mountains of black pepper.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
I reckon it's, this is Masterchef under Trump. I'm sorry, we can't allow any black pepper in here. That's just
white only. Yeah.
White only.
White is right. Now... The basic gist of this challenge was bland because everyone did the same thing. Now, Tim decided that he needed to treat us, and by treat us, I mean Tim needed to Alf Stewart it.
Oh, Heston's in the thing, and he's from England, so I got to be bloody.
Hey,
Ocker.
mate, how we going, buddy? Hey, pal. Right, stone the flaming crows.
That Australiana level went up from fucking Ocker to friggin' Paul Hogan.
Wacko the Diddly-O. Look, if he doesn't bust out Wacko the Diddly-O before the end of this series, I will be bitterly
Not
angry.
even trying.
Like, I will be so pissed off if he does not bust out Wacko the Diddly-O. Right? I think it's required. Like, basically, if we don't get it, I don't think Tim's trying.
If we don't get it, obviously they've substituted Tim for some other person who's trying to be Tim, but
can we be
not.
guaranteed that this Tim that they've brought back in is actually Tim?
Or is he like some wizard out of Monty Python?
Could be. An enchanter.
An enchanter.
Some people call me
Tim.
Now, Tessa was talking at one point about the idea of making ice cream as a take on eating ice cream as a kid.
Wow.
Now, that's not a take on making ice cream as a kid. That's remembering eating ice cream as a kid.
And then making ice cream as an adult.
And then making an ice cream. And look, we love Tessa. We've already said that. I, as you've already alluded to, have zero concept as to how Tessa's ice cream, which was already melting when she put it on the plate, got tasted.
Like, how shit did everyone else's look? Like,
well, I can give you the answer.
Did your wagon wheels look like poop emojis? Is that the level of wagon wheel that we got to?
I thought Ben was going to get, until it melted, I thought Ben was probably going to get tasted again. And there are a couple of them that did things you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. The other one is Derek. Now, Derek decided to do something that, well, let's face it, it's been the sneaky repeat of the series so far. Mille fois.
Oh, yes. So
otherwise
we had a
known,
savoury one last week.
Otherwise known, I was having a conversation this afternoon with someone who shall remain anonymous. Let's just call them R. Harwood. No, that's wrong. Robert H. And we were talking about mille fois, and as he put it, do you remember matchsticks? And I went, yeah, I love matchsticks. I said, yeah, a mille fois is kind of just like a matchstick that's a bit more overboard and pointless. And it kind of is, really.
Yeah, but you know.
Now, we've seen a hell of a lot of mille fois this series already, and it's a bit weird. Derek decides he's going to make a rough puff.
Yep.
Now, we're Bake Off people. Most of the audience that tweets with us,
Bake Off people.
We're all Bake Off people. Not a single person watching that last night who we know thought that Derek's pastry had a hope in hell.
No.
Turns out we're all right. That Derek's pastry indeed didn't have a hope in hell. He'd left it far too long. It was far too late. It was when he pulled it out of the oven. he looked at it and he's pulled it out of the oven. He's like, I might be able to get away with this. And I've looked at the TV and went, that's raw.
No, you might be able to reconstitute that and make it a tart base or other. You could like make it a Cornish pasty at that point. Just mush it back together, throw some filling in it. Cornish
And rebake
pasty.
it. Rebake it is the point. It was very pale. It made me look tanned. And
like against your buttocks, it was probably like one shade darker.
thanks, dear.
You're welcome. Look, I've got no problem with your buttocks. They are what they are. It's like tonight's a full moon. Reminds me of your butt. Somebody agrees. That's our cat.
Anyway, how did this turn? Like, seriously, how did this turn?
How doesn't it turn?
Oh, God. Anyway, so Derek pulled this out. He goes, oh, it might work. And it's the most pale thing ever. It is falling apart, not crumbling with goodness. It's just falling apart.
But that said, it's a time to try shit. It is the time to try stuff.
It's a time to try stuff. It's also a time to watch it fall the fuck over.
But it is a good time to experiment, so I do give him kudos for choosing this time to experiment.
Well,
Look, I'm trying not to let you rant too early. You've got to just fucking, like, calm down. Just calm the farm a bit.
the rant's coming.
You got, there's more to go.
So Steph
Don't want you to run out of steam.
So Steph got tasted in the first round, and
I
I
don't want to have
loved
to channel your rant.
and I loved Steph's reaction when she got tasted in the first round. They went, the first dish you're going to taste is Steph, and Steph just goes, oh shit.
Hello.
But it's just the level of, oh shit, oh joy. Now, controversial statement. And this goes for both challenges. And look, we love you contestants. We really do.
But,
I thought a majority of the desserts last night looked like absolute shit.
yeah, they were
I thought they
really
were atrocious.
They were, like, they were probably as good as I could make, which is just
I don't know. You
terrible.
made a really nice dinner tonight.
Yeah, but that's dinner, not dessert. I'd be a bit shit at dessert.
So
Unless it involves ice magic and ice cream.
So they tasted Larissa, and she'd made, funnily enough, Panna Cotta. They tasted Steph, and then the third one we're going, well, they're going to taste. There's a bunch of other people they could taste here. They might taste Anushka. They might taste Anushka. That was tempting. Tati. They might do Tatis. That might be really good. No, Tessa.
Well, you know, her ice cream took them back to their days eating ice cream.
Except they called Tessa up. They looked at the ice cream. They tried the ice cream and went, "That's a bit shit."
Like, how...
It was obvious.
How... And we didn't get to see a lot of the finished products around. This is something that we're all getting the shits about, is like, we don't get to see everyone's and what they put up, because they're telling us that they're taking the best three that look good. And quite frankly, like, when you're getting melty ice cream, is that really the best that there is? Are we not looking at anything that's fully formed? Is this like the
Is
price?
that all there is? Sing that song, Uncle Homer. But no, the biggest problem for me was we've been yelling this for, well, a couple of series now. I forget to say weeks, but it's a couple of series. Taste all the dishes. You are down to 12 people.
Yep.
Taste all the fucking dishes. Mm-hmm. Like they did it the second round. It's one extra dish.
Yep.
One extra.
Yep. Just fucking shove it in your face.
Like,
Have a little taste.
She won less in the next round. So it's one extra dish for this round. So Larissa wins the challenge and goes straight through to the immunity.
Yep. Well done, Larissa.
And-
that was well deserved. Good on you.
You know,
The honeycomb was fucking phenomenal.
now
Using that cola.
Now, a couple of people used the cola quite well. I do want to point out as well, Amanda on Twitter had one of my favourite lines of the night. What annoys me more is they say they'll try what looks like the best, then they'll try an ice cream puddle or a plate of roasted testicles or a Brussels sprout or whatever the hell Simon's Frankenstein dish was. I don't think anyone's ever going to get over the idea of the Frankenstein testicles.
No.
It was a bit weird. At this point, and the other thing about Larissa's dish, just quickly before we move on, was remember when they tasted Larissa's Panna Cotta, and Heston started by saying, normally, I'd say the texture of this Panna Cotta was too rubbery. Then he took a breath and went, but you put a bunch of other stuff around it, and so it kind of works being rubbery. So what Heston Blumenthal really said was, look, it's a bit shit.
But
There's a lot of really good stuff around it.
Like, how shit was everyone's dishes?
You know what it felt? You know what it felt a bit like?
What?
It felt a bit like, again, I'm on a Simpsons kick this evening. It felt a little bit like when Ralph Wiggum won the science fair because he had all the Star Wars figures in their packets.
In mint condition, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, is that a Chewy? Like, that was, Larissa's dish was the equivalent of, oh my God, is that a Chewy?
And they're like, oh, and then when you leave Heston's restaurant, you get a little doggy bag.
So go back and give. And that's the other point. I'm sorry, but a couple of people brought this up. I'm winding up already. Can somebody just make a honeycomb that tastes like fucking honeycomb?
No.
Like last night it was cola honeycomb. I want honeycomb.
Honeycomb is just fucking sugar.
Yeah.
And it's delicious. I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
And Coca-Cola is essentially just fucking sugar. So
No,
it makes sense.
I don't know. The bears pay the bear tax. I pay the Homer tax.
Pay the honeycomb tax.
Honeycomb tax, indeed. So we got the second challenge where they're like, now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, there's a big wall.
I'm like,
there's a sheet over this.
It's got to be awesome because it's Heston.
And then they pull the sheet off, and it's a
Breakfast cereals.
pantry full of breakfast cereals. Which one of those was your favourite?
Oh, just to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, Cocoa Pops. Come on.
Okay. Controversial statement.
You don't like Cocoa Pops?
Never a Cocoa Pops fan.
Give no shits. I'll just eat them for you.
Never a Cocoa Pops fan.
What was your cereal of choice?
Well, I liked. Here's the weird part. I kind of like the blandness that was cornflakes and rice bubbles.
I'll see.
I like a good rice bubbles in milk, but if I wanted something flavoured, I was only going in one direction.
Really?
Frosties. I was only going in Frosties.
Yeah, I never got Frosties.
You know
growing
why?
up. Why?
Because they're great.
Oh, we never got those. I rice bubbles and cornflakes always takes me back to my Girl Guide camping days.
Ooh.
And be fucking cold because we only went camping in the fucking winter and stuff. And it'd be like 6 o'clock in the morning and you've got your little bowl of cornflakes and it's fucking cold and you're eating it and it was just lovely. It just was really lovely.
Did you used to get the variety packs? The 8-box variety packs or the 6-box variety packs?
Not for camping, but for the holidays away with the fam, yes, we did.
So I'm assuming, much like most households, the box of Sustain was the last one left?
Oh, wasn't it just?
Poor Sustain. I mean, why does it exist? I mean, Rob D. Costella, is that the only reason Rob D. Costella is like, I'll do some ads for your cereal company as long as you make me what I want?
See, I remember there was a time when they did them and there would at least be 2 packets of Cocoa Pops there. And when that was fine, there was harmony in the household. There's 2 children, under the age of 10. That was my sister and I, and got it. Actually, it wouldn't have been under the age of 10 because we weren't allowed to have that shit when my younger sister started to go into elite gymnastics. And then it was just all fucking just right all the fucking time.
Yeah, Sustain was never eaten. Just right was not eaten in our house either. I used to eat the Nutrigrain, but not with the milk.
No,
I'd open the box and just eat them like a snack.
No, great.
They're Iron Man food, and it's only later in life that you learn the reason why it's Iron Man food is it's nothing but fucking sugar.
Yeah. Now, what I thought interesting about this pantry is they had double ups. So you had, not only did they have the cornflakes, but they also had
The Coles brand.
The Coles brand cornflakes.
Like, it was great. When Steph took the rice bubbles.
Yeah.
She took a box of rice bubbles, and then there's a smaller box on her bench next to it of the Coles own brand. I wonder if they were forced.
Yeah. Things I was disappointed about. Not seeing an elevated chocolate crackle.
Yeah, well, that was Twitter was fucking pissed. Where was the chocolate crackle?
Because quite frankly, people, this is a shit we live for, right? 1980s, you couldn't go to a fucking kids' party without a chocolate crackle, the toffee that'd break your teeth and cheesels, right?
Oh, Mum made the best toffee that breaks your teeth.
Oh,
patty pans.
With the
hundreds
frickles.
of thousands on top of them, and they were the best teeth breakers you could imagine.
I fucking love that. See, that's the thing, right? Elevate the chocolate crackle. Like, that is what we need as like millennials.
Like
Xennials, really.
A large chocolate crackle with maybe like a flavoured marshmallow in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Chocolate crackle with a cola flavoured marshmallow.
Get a bunt, right?
Ooh.
A bunt tin.
I've got a bunt tin.
You've got 3. Like chocolate crackle, marshmallow. What else could go on a layer of that?
You know what I really...
Honeycomb.
You know what else I really liked last night? The one thing I did like with the cola, they made the cola jelly.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I want to taste the fizz chocolate. That's the only thing from Derek Spencer I wanted to take.
Yeah, well, definitely not the pastry.
No.
Definitely not the pastry.
Leave the pastry, give me the
Sorry,
fizz.
Derek, but the pastry was shit.
Maybe the chocolate crackle, the fucking marshmallow, some fizz chocolate on top, and then some honeycomb, because why the fuck not?
Well, but, look, that would work. That would make sense.
Maybe we need something to cut through that. This is the thing.
Booze.
We're lost here, MasterChef people. This is the shit that we sit down to watch, elevate our chocolate crackles.
Now,
we can't stress it enough.
Now, what I wanted to point out was that they were talking about the idea of, the snap and crackle and pop and stuff like that. Now, as I pointed out, and Joe Kendry, commented on this too, what did they do last year in No Jello Week?
Was that a snap, crackle, and pop?
It was. The marketing is getting really lazy. They're reusing last year's promos.
Mm-hmm.
So, after all of that, we got ice creams and panna cottas.
And quite frankly...
And crumbs.
There's a lot of other shit that you could have put there. It's like, is it going to be just like a chocolate milkshake only crunchy? Is it
They could have done something like that.
It's going to be great. What was the Toucan Sam one?
I don't know.
No one used fucking...
Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops?
No one used Fruit Loops. I only thought about that last night. This is the shit I think about when I get into bed, people. I'm sitting there in bed last night, about to doze off, and I'm like, no one fucking used the Fruit Loops. I'm at that point right now where before I go to bed, I'm thinking MasterChef. That's embarrassing to admit. So it would have been like, I would have loved to have seen someone done something with Fruit Loops. You could have done something.
But quite frankly, what could you do with...
Grind each of the individual colours up, and you've then got a colourful powder you could use to colour something. So
like Panna Cotta.
If you wanted to...
like an ice cream.
So if you wanted to fucking make your ice cream, make a Fruit Loop ice cream. Right? If you'd at least made the ice cream a Fruit Loop ice cream, I'll go with you. Right? If instead we got a cornflake panna cotta... Two. Now, Ben, we need to talk. Young man. Look, the internet community loves you very much and has embraced you as our own child. But part of being the internet's child...
We need to sit you down and Mum and Dad need to have a little bit of a chat, Ben.
Look, now as... I'm assuming I'm Dad.
Well...
I'm Dad.
Look,
as Dad...
you be the dad.
I need to say to you, young man...
sucky job anyway.
It is, really. You get the good job.
Patriarchy.
You get the good job. So, young man, we're not angry.
No.
We're not. I mean, look, you made it through to, immunity and...
Well done.
Well done. We're proud of you. But we're disappointed.
At what cost, Ben? At what cost? I mean, it's great to win, but it's not just winning that counts. It's how you get there.
It's how you win. And
and a redemption panna cotta.
Look, and if in the last 8 weeks of raising you as our own, if you've learnt nothing else from us, and you probably haven't, in all honesty, the one thing you should have learnt by now,
what felching means.
Yeah, apart from that, maybe you've learnt that, and well done. If there's one thing you should have learnt from us, it's that we fucking hate panna cotta, and you made 2 of them in a fucking row.
Yeah.
Dude, look, seriously, we have criticised everybody else for making the same shit over and over again, and I saw people on Twitter last night going, I bet they're not going to have a go at Ben for... You better fucking believe we are.
Oh, we are, darling.
I was going nuts.
Darling little Anushka can make layer cake after layer cake and, make us a bit pissed about that. Not a bit pissed. Very fucking pissed about that. Then 2 panna cottas in a row.
And not only that, but we had things like an ice cream from Tim. We had an ice cream from... Sandeep got into the fucking ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, at one point last night, I was sculling my wine.
And that was just to cope with the judges.
Now, my moment of the episode last night, Mr. Zoolander.
Derek?
So Mr. Zoolander has decided he's going to make a deep fried ice cream.
Oh, yes.
So what I'm going to do with my deep fried ice cream is I'm going to put the ice cream in the churner, and I'm going to churn it, and I'm going to go, why is it not working? Why is it
not getting cold?
Why no ice cream?
It's
just cream.
It's just cream, dude.
Just cream, dude.
I can't make a deep fried ice cream.
I'm making deep fried milk at this point.
Yeah.
And turns out that Mr. Zoolander might possibly have put the churner right next to the heat.
Just a little close.
Right next to the fryer as it was warming up. That's a new one. I've never seen that before. Oh, Derek. It's a big bench, dude.
Yeah.
It's a big bench. You don't have to sit.
You know why? He just didn't have Abby there to tell him how to fucking
Well,
arrange
that's the
his
problem.
bed.
Look, the one thing...
The appliance queen.
Look, we were kind of happy to see, that Abby got a bit of a break in terms of going home because, they'd overexposed her a little bit. And I kind of feel it's like good for her to get away from that and go do her own thing now. But what we didn't think about were the negative consequences on the contestants, which is nobody knows where to put the appliances.
No.
Because A, they've suddenly got access to them because they could never find them before. But B, Abby could come out and show them where to position all the appliances and put some of them down for them. And look, that was a cool part about Abby. And now she's gone and they've got to place their own
appliances.
Now, we had more drinking.
Lots more drinking.
Anushka, parfait.
Anushka.
So we ended up with the... First of all, I tasted Derek's deep fried ice cream.
Yep.
And we can't really say this is good because, it's melted, dude. It's, not set. And Derek's like, I don't know why. I can't believe, I don't know. I didn't put it, next to a fire at all. It didn't happen. So that happened. Steph, poor Steph, it just didn't come together.
No.
And then Simon. Now, Simon, I will give you credit. Mm-hmm. I loved watching George Columbaris melt down because he couldn't cut through the fucking...
Your trolling was on fucking point there, Simon.
Cut through the tart.
The more you can fuck with their heads, that stand up in our book.
The trolling was great. The fact that you left the pan on it was a fucking disgrace. But the trolling level of it, and what I loved was he's like, do I say anything or do I not? And they're trying to cut through it. He's like, and he's like, you can see he's going to, and he doesn't want to, then he's going to, and they're like, what's going on here? And he doesn't say anything until eventually they're like, oh, the metal plate's still there. Oh, Simon, you rapscallion, you rascal, you.
Could you imagine if he had a vagina instead? It would have been a fucking travesty.
Well, then they suddenly must have worked out, oh shit, that's bad. And then they laid into him.
Yeah.
But they started off with, oh, you rascal, you. And then when they got to the judging, they're like, that's a disgrace. You don't leave metal plates on there.
No.
So it was Steph, it was Simon, and it was Derek going through to elimination.
And everyone else made, all right, dishes.
Now, we'll come to the immunity pin, obviously, tomorrow night. And
we're happy that Ben's in.
We're very happy that Ben's in there. But what we felt really was that you didn't need Heston Blumenthal for that.
No. You could have had fucking you there. Could have been.
Thank you. I've been arguing this for years.
Could have had Carl Stefanovic there. Might have been a little bit more interesting.
No, it really wouldn't have been. He would have been at the back of the kitchen just slagging everyone off while he was drunk.
Yeah.
George Columbaris is a no-talent hack. And his brother's in the background going, yeah.
Did you get Richard Wilkins' little black book?
I saw Richard Wilkins the other day. He looks like a waxwork.
Where did you see him?
I popped into my parents and they had, on the weekend, they had Today Extra on.
Oh, I thought you saw him in real life.
They weren't watching it. It was on in the background. And they cut to Richard Wilkins. He is a waxwork now. It is not even... They're not even pretending.
I presume he goes into torpor every night.
It's got to be.
They just wake him up for that half an hour that they roll him out, and that's that.
It's bizarre.
He is very bizarre.
I wonder if you lit one of the hairs on his head on fire, if he'd slowly melt. I'm going with maybe like a little bit like a slow motion version of the death in Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark when they all look at the Ark of the Covenant and just...
It's like one of those candles.
It's a giant candle, yeah.
Those ones that you can get like the finger and like it's like flesh coloured and then it like melts and the blood comes out. It's great.
I don't know if Richard Wilkins bleeds. Does plastic bleed?
He's probably just silicone all the way
Asking
through.
for a friend. So they then went, now we know that you're all, interested to get this challenge started. So that's why we're going to start this challenge now. And everyone's like,
oh. And I was like, this is going to be fucking cracker.
Now
is it a slow cooker challenge?
We've talked about this. We did a podcast over New Year with Robert Howard.
Yep.
Where we talked about what we'd like to see on MasterChef. And we said a slow cooker challenge where you've got to make something over 24 hours or 48 hours. You've got to slow roast something. We went, that would be absolutely brilliant. J. Kenji Lopez Alt does a 24-hour miso broth.
Yep.
Like there's a mountain of things you could do. Like, oh, this could be exciting. And then we remembered it was dessert week.
You can't do a slow cooker. Well, not a lot of slow.
Not many. I mean, slow cooked bread and butter.
Someone will know
pudding,
something.
Some of that, but they'll come up with something. Well, it turns out what they came up with was croissants. Now, okay, fine.
Now, what they'd done is that they didn't trust the MasterChef contestants to actually make their own dough. So they popped down to Coles, just to the ready mix section.
No, what they did was they popped down to Luna, Melbourne. So Kate from Luna, Melbourne, she's regarded as, again, she got a start in car design and then decided to go to baked goods, as you do.
Yep.
Now, Luna, I know a Loon, sorry, not Luna, Loon, it's that time of night, folks. It's a lunar, evening, the full moon. So, but Loon, though, in Melbourne, I have friends who have been to Loon and talk it up as like it's a long queue out the door and it's quite good, apparently.
I'll just get it through Uber Eats.
Yeah, fine.
I don't want to
fantastic, great. Now, obviously, I'm warming up because you know where this is going.
Okay, I'm just going to sit back, people.
They bring her in, and you have to make my Loon Black Forest croissant. And I'm like, oh.
This is going to be good.
Okay.
They're going to have to make a dough.
They've got to work on the dough.
Make it
and they cut it in half, and there's this beautiful sort of honeycomb texture. And it looks incredible when you look at the inside of it. And this thing is tempered chocolate. It's got piped chocolate from Japan. There's a chocolate mousse through the middle of it.
We were down and ready for this because we're like 2 days.
Then they go, now, obviously, it's a really complex challenge, and what we've decided to do is we're not going to get you to make the dough. We're going to give you the dough.
Like I said, it was just a matter of popping down to Coles, getting yourself some pre-made cookie dough or the croissants that are already there in the little bake tray that you can just heat up in the oven. Would have just been just as good, I reckon. Just whack that out there. Okay. Maybe one of the White Wings croissant mix. Just
all right. Okay. I'm going to quote.
The freezer section's got some croissants in it too.
I'm going to quote.
Okay.
I'm going to quote a major sponsor of MasterChef. Na 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 na. Na na. Na 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 na. Na na. Na 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 na. Na na. Nah, I am not here for this challenge. You fucking gave them the fucking dough. Now, Bake Off people.
Yep.
You're all with me on this. You have to make your own fucking croissant dough. Right? Now, I understand that she has this recipe and it is a closely guarded secret as to how she makes her croissant. Fantastic. Wonderful. Don't make the croissant as part of the challenge.
And it's like, it's been done before this season, but great because they could go up and taste the broth, and make their own approximation of it and come back to it. This did not have the same skill.
All we had for the first 24 hours of this was do the fold, put the butter in there, and put it through the giant fucking machine and push the button and have it set to the right thing. And by the way, if you read the instructions, it told you what to have it fucking set to. So all you had to do was read instructions. Derek couldn't do that, by the way. But it turned out the fold didn't even matter.
No.
Because Derek's turned out the same as everybody else's. Like when they turned up at the kitchen the next day, they were all stunned to find their croissants had risen. Of course they fucking risen. They'd been done by someone else. They didn't do anything. They put butter in the middle of it, rolled it through a machine, cut it into the stripes, and put it in a fucking proving, not even a drawer, they put it in a proving machine.
Hey, they had to roll it up as well to make it look like a croissant.
They got told how to fucking cut them. There was a diagram. I'm just...
I know.
Okay, this challenge sucked. As you can't tell, obviously. But this challenge sucked. But it's
boring to watch.
Okay, so we talked about this before. What was the worst challenge last year?
Oh, the 3D printer for sure.
Right, what was the 3D printing challenge about?
The machine.
It was all about, I've got a cool machine, look what it can do. What was this challenge about?
A machine.
I've got a cool rolling machine. Come have a look at it.
Oh, I know what's going on. Fucking Masterchef and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Rise of the Machines.
Oh, God. Colin Barris is thinking it's a cheap way to run a kitchen. It's a bunch of machines, you don't have to pay them. That's all he's thinking about.
Yeah.
It was just like...
Yep.
The fact that they don't have to make the dough is just... It's so what... They couldn't have found an issue with the consistency of the dough.
Yeah.
Because they didn't make the dough. No. They all got the same dough. So, realistically, when they're talking about is this dough dense or not, they go, oh, it's the different folds and blah, blah, blah. No, the dough's
they were
done.
really playing up Derek being in trouble. And, like, I don't think he needed to worry because he's got the secret ingredient that Masterchef judges love, and that's penis.
He really does.
And quite frankly, tonight, you know, that's what mattered.
There was a lot... They worked really hard tonight to justify their final decision.
That frangipans.
And I have no doubt that Steph fucked up when she baked them together. So we'll get into that now. So what we had was Steph made a couple of small errors, but
she redid the mousse, which is great.
She had to redo the mousse, and she did it, and that was fine, and she fixed it all up. Derek then tried to use a whisk attachment to do butter. That failed and got trapped inside the whisk attachment.
And he had to redo it?
They had to tell him that he needed to use a spatula. Then Steph's fatal mistake was she cut it in half, put the frangipan in, closed it up, and put it in the oven. Now, I have no doubt that there were massive textural issues with Steph's. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. But... they said that Derek's were dense.
Yep.
Then later on said that the layering is perfect. Which is it?
And it didn't matter that the chocolate wasn't there.
It didn't matter that the tempered chocolate wasn't on it. It didn't matter that it was dense but not dense.
So why have the tempered chocolate on it?
So a couple of people have pointed this out and went, well, you know, if you make something in MasterChef, then just leave the element off the plate, and a missing element is better than an element that's not done. And some people go, well, yeah, because you've learned what you need to take off the plate to make it work better. But if it's an element that you consider to be a key part of this, you can't leave it off. You haven't served the full dish.
But obviously, tempered chocolate is not a key element because it didn't matter that it was left off.
And again, it was more
if I'd spent 2 hours at Loon waiting for a croissant and it was served up without tempered chocolate, would I be disappointed? I mean, I'd be fucking irate, but I wouldn't be disappointed, no. Yeah,
you probably, look, Steph made a bunch of mistakes tonight. Like towards the end, she made a few big mistakes. And unfortunately, she's made a few over the course of the last couple of weeks. I really thought that she possibly had done enough to stay. Unfortunately for the MacGyver of the kitchen, it was one too far.
Yeah, it's disappointing, and quite frankly, You know, I will miss her in there.
I mean, I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of wondering a little bit if she'd managed to bake, if she'd not cut them in half, how would they have justified Derek staying and her going?
Yeah.
I don't think they could have.
No.
All right. I think if she'd actually just not put the Frenchpan in there before she baked them. Now, what I do also want to point out, the gantry crew.
Right.
A few points about the gantry crew tonight.
No one said push. Where was push?
No one said push. They all fucking said push.
Did
there
they?
was one 5-minute stretch.
Paying attention.
There was one 5-minute stretch where we heard nothing but the word push.
Oh, really? I was just enjoying the beautiful chicken cacciatore that I cooked from scratch.
You were okay. Speaking of the definition,
Okay, I cooked tonight.
You cooked from scratch.
I know.
You know what they didn't do from scratch?
Cool.
Make a fucking croissant. Which when they got into the judging, they went, look at this. They've done an amazing job. They've made croissants from scratch. No, they didn't. That is like saying, I went down to Coles, I grabbed the cookie dough, I cut it into slices, put it on a tray. I made cookies from scratch.
Next time I'm gonna serve them up steamed hams. I made them from scratch. It's an old Albuquerque recipe.
The definition of from scratch. I mean,
Very
we're
loose
not
there.
But forget loose. Loose doesn't cut it.
Or it's dangling by a thread.
There are long bows, and then there's this. Like, I'm sorry, but like it would be.
Apologise.
No, it would be like, for example, going to the supermarket and buying, because we're talking MasterChef people, buying a Diana Chan made at home ready meal.
Yeah.
Putting it in the microwave.
I think I prefer a Marion Gadsby.
So would I, but I'd take it out of the microwave.
Oh no, Diana does the dumplings. I just do both. I just buy
So you
both.
take the Diana dumplings, you cook them, you reheat them, you eat them and go, look, I've made dumplings from scratch. Like, it's just, it boggles the mind that they and
It really pulls into the 1950s marketing thing where they brought they made the cake mixes where all you had to do was add water, and people didn't like that because they felt like they hadn't done anything, so they stopped added the egg ingredient, whatever it was, and now you had to add an egg and some milk to it, so people felt like they were doing something. It really is.
And we've talked before about the idea of you could do a challenge with a packet mix but elevate it. Like, this was the equivalent of that, but without the elevation. It was just the equivalent of, look, someone's given you. Well, you know what? It feels a bit like. It feels like you've gone to the shops and bought croissants and just put them in. Like, again, you've gone to Coles, you've bought the tray and put the tray in the oven for 15 minutes. Yeah. Congratulations.
Those croissants are pretty shit, though.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do on the weekend.
What?
I'm going down to Coles.
Okay.
I'm going to get the croissants. I'm going to get some chocolate mousse from the fridge section.
Can you make it yo-go?
Done. Yo-go. I'm going to get some chocolate buttons. How am I going to do the French pan?
Okay. No. Okay. So get the chocolate mousse. Maybe the creme caramel for the French pan.
Creme caramel. I'll slice the creme caramel finally. I will bake in the oven, and then I will put this together. I will put together my own...
You need a jam too. Get a bit of IXL.
Yeah, we've got some IXL. I'll get the IXL jam. We'll put that in there, and I'm going to make my own version of this croissant.
You should get some flake for the top.
I'm going to make a croissant like a Loon croissant from scratch. All right, gonna jazz this fucker up. Hundreds of thousands. You know what? Loon hasn't thought of that.
No.
Hundreds and fucking thousands
You're gonna
everywhere.
elevate it.
I'm gonna elevate a Loon croissant.
You're gonna take this to the fucking party level.
I'm gonna take it. You know what? I don't have to
take it for a walk in the Black Forest.
I don't have to put it through a fucking machine. I don't have to.
Hey, an oven's a machine.
I don't have to make it sit for 24 fucking hours. I don't need a proving.
You don't have to, but you could.
It wasn't even a proving drawer, by the way. It was a proving machine. Bake Off's going, we've had a fucking drawer for years. And I had people on Twitter tonight explaining, you don't need a proofing machine. No. You know what you need? You need a fucking bowl and some cling wrap. and cling wrap would do the same fucking job as the high-tech fucking cabinets they brought in to do the job.
Yeah, but she manufactured cars or designed cars. And, you know, with all of that being sent off overseas, what did she have left? What did she have left? So she must have bought the equipment and just rejigged it. 'Cause she looks like a clever cookie, that Kate. A clever croissant. One clever croissant.
Look, I know there are going to be some people who are going to say, oh, if it was a male chef, they'd be seen as being tough. And that was it just me, or did she seem angry at everybody?
She was angry at everyone.
She seemed really angry at everybody. It didn't matter. She looked at someone. She wanted to punch him in the face.
Well, I'm not too sure why she chose to do Masterchef. Obviously, she's got a very successful business.
So successful that she doesn't want to give out the recipe for the thing they're going to cook.
Maybe she was really pissed off that she had to bring her machines in. She's like, this wasn't part of the fucking deal. How do you reckon they got them over there, on the Vespa? Back of the Vespa?
Yeah, they individual Vespa.
Just
individual.
Send the contestants off in the 4-wheel drives. All right. While you're on the gantry, while these guys, the Trents.
The Trents are no, Kristie, it's Australia. Yeah. What they did was they put them on the top of a car and Trents just each with an arm out a window holding it. I got this. So Simon's was great. Like, he still gives creepy eyes.
It was a Kim Spicer's.
Yeah, Kim Spicer's comment was, Simon has a girlfriend, giving his slightly deranged look. I'm thinking she might not know about it.
What do you reckon your girlfriend's thinking about right now? And I've gone, that she's missing the D. Is that what you want her to be thinking about right now, Simon?
And also Shrinkin, who had one of my favourite tweets of the night, which was, let's be real, guys, is this just a Nutella and cherry jam croissant? Well, we're going to find out on the weekend when I make my own version with cream caramel. And yogo. And I'm not looking forward to eating this, but dear God, I'm committed to a bit. So, a couple of things before we finish up. First of all, make sure you follow us over on Washing Up Pod on Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's where the drinking game is. Apparently, there are lots of people this week who have been, whenever I've been commenting on playing the drinking game, are going, oh, so what are you going to randomly drink on things? And I'm like, have you heard of the game? We're 8 weeks in, people. So share the love. If someone you know watches MasterChef and they've not seen the drinking game cards, send them over to Washing Up Pod on Instagram.
If they don't drink,
Cheesel's working, and Mel Buttle has given us that suggestion. So, always happy to oblige that. So go check us out over there. We have a Patreon. Now,
we do.
We do. You know very little about that because I set that one up the other day and just went, we've got one.
We've got no content for it then, I presume, because
it's just
I have no fucking idea about it.
The Patreon is only there for podcast costs, etc. I don't know if you're aware, but this costs money to make. And I know quality podcasting that I'm in debt for, but
no, really, the content is equal to its worth.
So we're trying to sell them on the concept here. So, no, in all honesty, I've got a couple of really cool ideas that we're looking at going forward, both for this and then Bake Off that follows and things like that.
Make you a poem about felching.
So we're going to come up with a bunch of rewards that we're going to put up on there. But at the moment, if you just feel like, even a little bit, every little bit helps to pay for like cost of equipment, cost of podcasting, all of those sorts of bits and pieces. Not asking for a lot, not asking really for anything. It's up to you if you want to give anything
$1 a day, no.
And if you don't want to give anything, not really fussed about it in all honesty.
No, just fucking listen to the podcast like you're doing now. That's great.
Give us things, don't give us things. We legitimately don't care.
Yeah.
We're happy to do this and we love doing it, but just think we set it up and just see what happened with that because I've got some really cool ideas we want to go through and I'm just trying to work all that out.
Yeah.
We've got a few more things we're hoping to announce in the next few weeks or so. We may have a few guests lined up.
That would be nice.
Can't say too much about that.
Please fucking get them on because I really want to talk to some people.
I can
That's
confirm.
You're wonderful at everything.
I'm not going to give any names.
Okay.
But I can confirm at least 2.
2 contestants?
At least, I didn't say they were necessarily contestants.
Oh.
Although now you've said that.
Sizzle!
2 contestants.
Forward sizzle.
But there's
Should I rewind that? I can just pretend I didn't say it.
God, no, I don't care. We'll roll.
All right.
So, so we've got at least 2 people individuals who are going to come on at some point when we can arrange schedules. And then there's a couple of others that might be able to come on in the next few weeks too, so keep your ears out for that. Also, at some point in the next week or so, I'll be having a chat with Steve Malk from Black Box TV talking about the ratings of MasterChef. They had a big bounce back the other day. It's the beer effect.
Yeah, Maggie Beer.
Maggie Beer drove the ratings up again.
Yeah, everyone loves a good beer.
Please go back and listen back through the archives to all the other past episodes. We've done some really good ones lately.
Not necessarily tonight.
No,
your rant tonight was brilliant, though.
We'll see where we go.
That, my
but
love.
the last couple of weeks, we've had a couple of really good ones. We've had some cool guests too. Huda from last year was on.
Yeah.
Joe Kendry, of course. Mama Joe has been on, and she's been great.
Leo,
you've heard. Robert Harwood.
Cats.
You know, I'm going Robert. You're going Leo and the cats. So
hey, those cats are really cool. Like, they contribute a lot to this podcast.
they did the other night. They were fighting in the back corner. It was great. It was wonderful for all concerned.
Where else do you get colour like that on a podcast?
Only here. And also remember, if you want to read a recap version of this, it's slightly more organised than we are. Go check out Ben Pobgy's Twitter. Ben does some really good review work, so go and check some of that stuff out as well.
Yeah.
So with all of that in mind, and knowing that we've got a potential for Ben to win a pin this week, shall we dare put that into the ether? And also remember, it's a Poe week.
Oh, just back it back, Buchanan.
Don't
get ahead of yourself.
It's a Poe week.
I know it's a Poe week and everything's lining up. We've just got to just not fucking jinx it, all right?
And more importantly,
Jesus.
Ben, son, if you make another fucking Panna Cotta, I will jump teams. I will jump.
He will jump on Team Tim.
Team Tim.
Team Tim.
Team commentary.
Team commentary.
So I will jump to team commentary.
Tim really is the...
You've been warned.
Who's the Channel 7 dude that always does the Olympics?
Bruce McAvaney.
Bruce McAvaney.
Tim is the Bruce McAvaney. It's rather than special, it's just like, it's like it's a great night. And I'm going to make some... lots of local food. He doesn't say special. He says local. So with that, until the next episode, which of course is Thursday night, I'm still Chris.
And I'm still Kristie.
And we'll catch you all later.
Panna Cotta, drink.